I just quit my $150,000 a year job in this economy. I know. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. Let me tell you how this all started, how I got here, and why I even decided that now was the time, especially with this, no one knows what the hell is going on, including myself. So let me take you a trip down my life, where I am. A lot of you guys who know me, who don't know me, you're just going to know a whole different side of Christina, and I'm so excited for it. But first, welcome to my channel. It is kind of going to be new and improved, where I want to do more authentic content along with my business that shows more behind the scenes of me and the everyday struggles that we go through just trying to build life in general, and trying to bring back some type of authenticity to this world, because oh my god, we live in this world where it's just 90% of stuff is fake. The other 10% we don't even know what the hell it is, and it's so hard to figure out where we fit in. Should we be here, should we be there? Society says one thing, our family says another, and it's so confusing. And it's I'm really resetting my entire existence to really build my life by design, and build, start tapping to the life that God designed for me, not my family or society. So if this resonates with you, please tune in and stay with me, and I'm sure you'll have a great time through my crazy journey. So about me, I started working at the utility company for New York City at 19. So I've been there for 8.5 years. So 2 weeks ago, I decided to just up and quit. And I didn't have a big party. I didn't tell a whole bunch of people. I didn't tell my family. I didn't even tell my fiance. It was just a really, really tough decision. And it's not something that it wasn't impulse. It was something I've been thinking about for a long time. I'm really not satisfied in this job. It's not what's fulfilling me. I want to do more real estate and more business oriented, where I feel like I'm making a greater impact in this world. And I really started to feel like my life was a lie. I'm on social media and I'm doing real estate and doing these events and everything's so cool. And then Monday I'm going to work. It's terrible. So it really just got to the point for me where it's so hard for me to elevate and build a business when I have a job that I have to go to 5 days a week. So aside from that, my job, I've been there 8.5 years, like I said, and it's in a male-dominated field, right? So most of my coworkers are men. So my entire 20s, I just grew up with all males, being able to learn from them, learn from the adult side, see how men operate. And it was so fun. I've had a great time being in the field, but actually, working hands-on, then transitioning to management to really see both sides of things. So I gained so much experience over those years, and luckily I got some free time off of work to build my business. But it really wasn't passionate. There was no oh, I'm directly impacting people's lives. Yeah, we, work at a utility company, so we're essentially giving everybody electricity. But if I don't go to work, your lights still go on. It's not oh my God, Christine's not there. Everything's gonna stop. No, there's no no one knows who I am in that world. So it's okay, you can go to work, you fix things, you make things happen, and you go home. There's no nothing, even the people that retire from there, you get a good pension, you get this, but then what? It's you spend 40 of your years, and if I stayed there, I had to work until I was 60 because I was in management. I started at 19, so I had to do 41 years to retire. So for me, it's okay, if I stayed and did 41 years, what would that look like? How many lives would I have actually touched? How many life accomplishments would I have actually made? You can only win so many awards at work. There's really not a lot. And you have to be really outstanding for people even to submit your awards. And I wouldn't even want those type of awards anyway. But my point being is, I really didn't feel like I was going to do anything. Like, of course, I would make an income. My salary is $150,000 alone. That's not including overtime and all that other stuff. So it's like, of course, I can say I'm making good income to, fuel my life and this and that. But it's not really tapping into what I could be. I feel like it was just that. And I think maybe a lot of us could resonate with this, because a lot of people I talk to feel the same way. Like, they have something else that they're passionate about, and they're only being held back because of that security that the job gives them. Because anyone will tell you, people either think I'm the craziest person in the world, or that I'm just like, I have some big cojones, because no one, like, a lot of people won't do that. Not in today's time, where they don't give you pensions anymore, and where the economy is so uncertain, where people are saying like they can't get jobs anywhere and this and that. So it's like, people will say the security is the number one thing. Having a job like that, especially in the utility industry, where people would say it's like a recession-proof job, right? COVID wasn't even a thing for me. No one got laid off. We actually got more overtime, so we got paid more. So it's, you're leaving a recession-proof job in an uncertain market to see, like, for what, right? So this is a lot of stuff I had to battle with before making my decision. And one of the things that really helped was like, what do they say? They say, if not now, then when? And if not me, then who? And that's kind of what just was running through my mind. Like, when is going to be a good time? Like, when is the actual perfect time in my life to say, okay, I have enough money, I have enough this, I have enough resources, where like, okay, I'm going to quit. Like, when? There's always going to be something. It's always going to be something. In my 20s, I didn't have any real responsibilities. I was using my money to invest and to just live my lifestyle, vacation. That's what I did it for. But in my 30s, like, this is now family time. So now my 30s is going to be me building my life with my husband, my babies, and everything in that nature. So that's not a good time either, because I'm going to have to pay for daycare, my children, our house, this. Okay, then when I get in my 40s, then what? Then my kids are going to be going through whatever, sports. It's going to be sports payments, this. They want little clothes and stuff as they grow up. All right, fine. Then my 50s, my kids are going to be old enough to go to college. Now I have to pay for college. Like, when is a good time? When I'm 60, now I'm retired and I stay my whole life. So it's just like, I just did the numbers. I'm like a Marvel fan. So what's it called? At the end of Endgame in Avengers, when he's like, Doctor Strange's like, I ran like 3 million scenarios and they all end up the same. And that's how it is. And the only one that we can take that chance and win is that chance. So I'm like, every scenario that I played out, oh, maybe if I get a different job, or if I do something else, like, every single scenario is the same. It's going to be me ending up working for somebody else and something that I don't like, and me not being fulfilled. That's what my experience is, and that's where I would get the best job for the salary that I want. So I took that one chance, that the 1 out of 3rd scenario that would work, and I'm going with it. And I really wanted to like start this journey, because I think there's a lot of people that may be on it, that we can kind of go through this together. And I also just want to show like how the in-between mess is, because we all see on social media like when everybody's already at the top and everyone already made this jump and already made that switch and that sacrifice, but you don't see the nitty-gritty in between of like the uncertainty, the things that come up, and the doubt, and then, the challenges and the tests that will come right after. So I want to show that, and I want to, take that journey around other people who are doing the same thing, or that are just, starting a new business venture, anything in general, because this is the part where like we need each other most, especially seeing everybody like, oh my God, social media, this, that, like, where are the people like us? Like, this is where we're at. This is crazy. This is like, there's so many things happening. So I really want to bring light to that. So that's really what I intend to do during this whole series. And I really just want to make this normal again, like the in-between stage, because it's been hard. I've been out of work for 2 weeks, And I've had, I do real estate, so it wasn't like I just left him. It was like, let me not do anything. So I do have fix and flips going on, some rentals. But the first 2 weeks of me not being at work, I think like everything started lining up. Like I get a call from one of my tenants that there's a plumbing issue for one of their things. It's like something happened backing up from the bathroom up and bringing up the floor. So all of the floors, like you walk on it and there's water. That's $1,000. So I get hit with a plumber fee right after I quit my job. Then I get hit with, I was supposed to close on a flip, waiting for that big check to come. Like, oh my God, that was going to be lined up. Everything good. I don't even know what's happening with that. They're like, oh, we don't know. We keep getting delays. So now I'm like, I don't even know when I'm going to expect that check. So then something else happens. I'm in the middle of refinancing something for another big project. And like, yeah, I don't know if we could do the numbers. We need this, we need that. So I'm like, okay. Everything is testing me right now. I think this is like where all this stuff starts to come in, the challenges, the tests, like to really see like, okay, how bad do I want this? Because with all this stuff lining up at once, it's so easy to fold and be like, you know what? I'm going back to my job. I know I had the income, and it's really hard to battle and say, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be still, and this will pass like everything else. Because when we're in it, it feels like the most terrible storm in our life. Every single thing. Everything that I could look back at when I'm in it, I just feel like, oh my God, like I don't know how to get out of it. I'm like sick, I'm stressed. And when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I was even like stressed about that. Like it's gone. I haven't even thought about it in like years, months, anything. But when we're in it, it always feels like the end of the world. And it's easy to try to revert back to what we know. Sorry. So that's why I'm trying to practice a lot of my mindset lately, because I think that is what most of it goes into, is getting my mind right to think like, okay, this is normal. This is what people go through. And if it was easy, then no one, like, everyone would do it if it was easy, So it's like, it's hard for a reason. And I have to keep the end goal in mind, like where I want to be, what I want to do, who I need to help. And, we always get caught up in our own stuff that, we don't also see like who needs us. Like, is there somebody needs to hear from us or this, now? Like, we're just really caught up in our own things. So that's what I'm really like practicing a lot of my mindset, just doing my morning meditation. My morning routine, let me tell you guys, my morning routine consists of me praying. Then I do my little 10-minute yoga stretch because, oh my God, my body is so sore in the morning. I do my 10-minute yoga stretch, and then I go into like my meditation, like my manifestation, where I'm just thinking and I'm just like, just speaking and attracting and saying like, okay, like I'm going to get this. I'm going to close on this house on Friday. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get paid from that. I'm going to get this check by the end of the year. I'm going to help this person with this deal because they, are in a little situation. I'm just talking about things that I'm going to do or I'm going to attract and just trying to like live it out. So I really try to do that every morning. It's like live out the situation scenarios and just get my mind right, because, oh man, like the mental stress has to be like way harder to deal with than physical stress. When we have all these things going on and we're just stressing on our mind and thinking and like, oh my God, we need to do this, we need to do that. So like the mindset work every morning, and not even just the morning, like not even leaving at the morning, like even in the middle of the day when we're getting stressed out about deals and things that we have to do with our business, with our life, it's like taking a break and saying, okay, I need to clear my head. I need to rethink this. I need to let's take it back a little bit because there's no reason we need to make ourselves sick and, sick in the mind about all these things, because they will be resolved. So it's like, all right, how do I get my mind together every day to really get there? So that's been a big part of me being able to do it, is just understanding how to keep my mind on that. Because like I said, it's going to be so easy to revert back and say, you know what, maybe this is not worth it for me, right? Maybe this life is not what it's supposed to be or whatever. I need to just go back. It's going to be so easy. And the reality is, it's like, if we want to be somewhere else, most of the time we have to cut out that one thing. You know, it's like, how are we gonna, some people who haven't found their person yet, it's like, how will you find your soulmate if you're still dating somebody toxic? Like, you're not gonna like be in a new healthy relationship without letting go of like the toxic one. You know, it's like pruning. It's like they say with pruning, you have to prune and cut back in order to even evolve into something else, to bloom into a beautiful flower. So it's so hard to even think that way, because you're like, I don't want to let go of this. It's there. Even my hair sometimes, like, I've always had a thing with like, for years I try to grow my hair as much as I can, and it always stays at this level, like whatever. But whenever my hairstylist wants to cut my hair, I'm like, no, please. I got a little bit of hair. Like, let me get the little bit that I have. Don't take it from me. And whenever she cuts it, it grows back. It doesn't grow past this, but it grows, it grows back to this. And it's like, we have to cut back. We have to let go of those things. And that's what I'm like forever trying to tell myself, like, I cannot scale. I cannot grow my business. I cannot do more things in life working at 9 to 5. Well, my schedule was 7 to 3, which is even worse because getting up in the mornings in the winter is terrible. But it's really hard to do that. And a lot of people do, and I give them credit. I really do. But for me, this whole thing, like living my life by design, I don't want to do that anymore. I've done it for the past 5 years. I've actually always worked 2 jobs. So I'm at the point where I'm exhausted. I want to do one thing, one business. And that's the whole point of this, is like doing what you want to do. I mean, my dad is like my number one supporter. Actually, my whole family is my supporter, but me and my dad are very close. And he even will tell me like, all right, don't quit your job. Your job pays your bills. And when you make enough to, when you make the same salaries you do in real estate as your job, then you should quit. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try to do that. But the reality is, I don't know when that's going to happen. And if I wait to do that, then like, I don't know if I'm ever going to leave. And I'm like, I can probably actually do that if I leave my job. But me running my fix and flips and my rentals and working with real estate clients and doing my content consistently, doing events, I don't see that happening right now. So it's, and it comes out of a place of protection, and, especially parents like us. But my dad came from Jamaica, so he kind of has a different approach on things, more of a work hard, get a good job, do what you need to do, and don't cry about it. Like, what are you crying for? So he doesn't see things in the light that maybe I would say our generation or people of today see things in the working world. And this is a man who worked 3 jobs and raised 3 kids by himself. I don't know how he did it or how he found the time, but he did. He worked at the same company I worked for, the utility company. And then he was delivering pizzas at Domino's, after work. And then he would work on the toll booth on the weekends, overnight on the toll booth. So, and he was raising all 3 of us by ourselves. I mean, he had, people to try to support whenever they can, but a single father trying to raise 3 kids and do 3 jobs is, he has no tolerance. He's like, what are you crying for? You have 2 little jobs, you have no kids. Like, I don't want to hear it. So, I say that to say, not everyone will understand where you come from when you want to build a new business or leave your job for another one. They're going to be like, what are you complaining about? So that's why I'm saying this. It's like, sometimes you can't listen to your family. You can't listen to society, because they're just not going to understand your point of view, where you're coming from, and you're just going to get discouraged. And they'll believe in you either way. Like he told me so many times, do not, you better not quit your job, you better not quit. And then when I told him like, hey, I left my job, I told everyone after I left that I left, maybe a week after I left. And he's like, oh, okay, well, you can always get something else. Or, if you keep doing the real estate, it's good because you get a flip here, you flip there. And it's like, I'm like, oh, now you see the vision? So sometimes you have to show people out there, because if you tell them in advance, they may not see the same light as you. and you have to do after. And the same thing goes with my brother. Years ago, when I started getting into real estate, I told him, eventually I'm going to quit my job because this is not going to be sustainable. And I told him that. And he said a choice of words to me, but he's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're insane. You're this, you're that. And over the past couple of years, me doing real estate, he's kind of gotten involved in it. And I even got him into about 1 or 2 deals himself. And he's made money off of it, improving it. And now he's at a point where he's like, everything that you see, I get it. Everything you've been saying, I see it, I understand it. And he's trying to build a life for himself now. So not everyone's going to see it. It takes time. But you have to be, if this is the journey you want, whether it's a new business venture, a new life journey, a new career change, sometimes you just have to do it and let people see after, because not everybody will see your vision, and it's not their vision. It's yours for a reason. And a lot of times we always, I'm not going to say we, I'll speak for myself. I seek external validation from the people that I care about. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But the reality is, it's not their life. And they don't understand it. They're not going to be the ones doing it. So why am I asking for their validation? My sister's a nurse. She would have no business telling me what to do in real estate, and I have no business telling her what to do in the medical world. I have no idea what they do. So it's just we have to remember that. We ask people for their opinion that have no idea what we do, how we live our life, what kind of life we want to live. And I think that's been a part of my problem for a long time. So that's really why I felt like I really need to start spreading that word about it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be crazy and sound crazy. And uncertainty sometimes is good. It gives us more faith. It gives us more patience to see what's going to happen, because we're not always going to have everything lined up in life. That's not life. It's not hey, here's 1, 2, 3. This is what we're going to do. It's literally just we see how we end up. We do things, we make power moves, and we just trust the process. And we need to be more trusting of that. So this new chapter for me is really about all of that, about not knowing what's next, planning as much as I can, seeing what I could do, how, obviously I'm going to put so much more time and energy into my business, into my content, into just everything, and really just living life how I want. And I'm not going to do whatever I want, but just a simple thing is okay, I make my own schedule now. I never got to make my own schedule working my job. It was always all right, here's my job schedule. I had to schedule everything around. I had to schedule the gym. I used to go to the gym at 5 a.m. I used to leave my house at 3:45 to get to the gym before my 5 o'clock class. Hurry to my 5 o'clock class, shower, and then run over to my job and be there by 6:30. That's exhausting. Then drive my hour home if I'm not working overtime. So it's even just cutting out that is such a relief. Now my schedule, this is how I set my schedule now, with me being jobless, quote unquote, is I can wake up at 6:45, which is, still early enough for me to get the day going, but not too late. And I go to the gym at 7:30. I come home from my 7:30 class. I make my breakfast for me and my fiance. And I never got to see him in the morning because he works nights, so I'm always at work by the time he leaves to work. So we have opposite schedules, so he doesn't have to go until 2. So I can make both of us breakfast. We can have breakfast together, and then I can still log on by 9:30 for everything that I need to do for my business. And it's just oh my God, this right here is luxury. It's a luxury to me. The fact that I can get my gym class done when I have energy without waking up at 3, 4, or 5 in the morning. I can wake up, I can get a full night's rest, still go to the gym early enough to be logged on before 9 o'clock and be done with my exercise for the day and just be a full day of work. That is insane. No commute. No being tired. I used to have to take a nap every time I come home from work because I'm exhausted from the commute. And if anybody lives in New York, you don't know. that's a whole nother video about traffic in New York and how like that has to really decrease time of your life. The stress that we have to go through driving in New York, especially if you have to drive through the Bronx or New York. I don't care what anybody says, driving through the Bronx is probably the worst ever to drive through to get home in New York. But that's another story. But you get home and you're exhausted. You're like, you don't want to do anything, but I have to do stuff because I still have my real estate business. So that's now my time to work on my real estate business when I'm exhausted, this, that. So it's just long days. And now with me having my own schedule, it's like, okay, I can set this, I can do that, go to the gym in the morning, I can then do my business. I can work all day, all night if I want to. No one can just put a random meeting on my calendar. It doesn't work like that anymore. I'm not available. At work, at my job, it's like, oh, here's a random meeting. Here's a random meeting. For what? It's like now just having the flexibility to say no. Like, no, I'm not free. No, I don't want to work with you. No, I can't do this. I can't take on any more clients. I'm sorry. We don't have that luxury at a W-2. And that's really why. And it's a big sacrifice. It's scary. It's scary to think of not having your next paycheck coming in, of budgeting more. And, looking at your financing. Of course, that's a big part of it, is going through all of my financing. Oh, and cutting out all those subscriptions. Like, where do all these subscriptions come in? But really taking a look, like, okay, where can I cut back? Where can I get rid of? Maybe I don't need to go out to eat as much. And really like looking over your finances to really budget more, so that way you can, pay all of your stuff in advance, and obviously investing helps, right? So I'm already in the real estate world, so it does help to have ongoing projects and rentals and things like that. But it's still, you have to budget. You get one big check and then nothing here. So there is a lot that goes into that. And I might even make an extra video just on that alone, is like how I'm doing my finances and still my retirement plan without being jobless. I'm still investing in the market to kind of grow that outside of everything as my only retirement. So I'm happy to do something on that, of like how that is. But there's a lot that goes into that, to setting up to make sure you're okay. And it is riskier, but if you want to have a life that's designed by you, it takes that risk. We want to have it all, but we can't. And it's like you have to sacrifice a little something. And I tell people that too, when people buying a house and they want, I want a big eating kitchen, an in-ground pool, and luxury finishes, and 5,000 square feet. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can get all that if you have no budget. Oh, well, I have a budget. My budget's $500,000. All right. Well, then if you have a budget, then you gotta let go of the pool. You're not getting the pool, and you're not getting a big kitchen. So we have to sacrifice something. So like something always will have to be a compromise. So for me, I'm willing to compromise the thought that I won't have that security check coming in, and the fact that I will have to work whenever and wherever. I know that my work won't stop even if I'm on vacation, or if it's late or something like that. This is now the life that I'm choosing, because I'm choosing to have a flexible schedule, a flexible morning, things like that. I'm choosing to work longer hours throughout the day to make sure I get my work done. And that's the sacrifice that I'm making, because I'd rather do that than taking 2 to 3 hours out of my day every day commuting to have a set schedule. I'm sorry, that's me. So this is my journey. This is me fully diving into my real estate world, fully diving into content and really growing authenticity. And that's, another, just to bring back authenticity. Another one of the reasons why I really felt the need to dive into real estate full time right now is there's just so much false information. And I would say things are misconstrued, right? I think a lot of things are sold to be easier than it actually is. A get rich quick, get rich overnight. Oh, if you do my program, you're going to make X, Y, Z. And I think that's contributing to people feeling discouraged. And it's contributed to people feeling like they need to live that life. Like, oh my God, I need to be doing this. And that's how I started with my real estate journey is, oh my God, these people said I need to have 20 properties. I'm going to do that. And I'm like, no, now I want less properties. I want one big properties that make the same as the 20 properties. So there's so much of that, and I really want to bring back that value and say, hey, this is what we can learn in the business and the real estate world, and blocking out everyone's extra stuff, because that's not the life that we want. We don't want to do that and live how you guys are living. We want to build it for our own life. It can't be a step by step, because not everything is step by step. It's not apples to apples. It's how you want to live your life, how you want to control your business. And I want that to be our own journey now. It's like we are living our life by our design. And yes, these resources will help to learn from other people, because there's so many industry experts out there. There's a lot of experts that can help with that. But we don't have to do it exactly how they're doing it. And we don't have to live our life exactly how they do it. So we really need to start thinking, how do we want to live our life, and how can I make that incorporate with mine? How can I take their tools, their resources, their education information, and just fuel that into my own mind for how I want to do things? And that's been the biggest battle for me, is really just seeing this, even in my W-2, seeing how everyone else lives their life. They all have great houses, this, that, but that's it. And everyone lives almost the same life. And similar to, the social media world, if you look at most of influencers, they all live a similar life. And what is the life what does our life look like? And how can we mold that without folding to our family, folding to society, and really trying to figure that out, being really true with ourselves. So that's why I'm just so excited for this. My first video doing this, I'm excited to do more. I will be dropping these weekly, and I will share how experiences are going, how things are going in the jobless world that I'm in. But I'm planning on sharing different experiences, different things, different lessons, and building a community around this, where this is a safe space where we can be okay with where we're at and judgment free. This is where we are, and we're not trying to be like everybody else. We're trying to be like us and do things how we want to do it. If it's scary, it's scary. If it's not, it's not. And worst thing we could do is go get a job again and live a normal life. That's the worst case scenario. So if you're willing to be on this journey with me, definitely subscribe and stick with us. I will be dropping a video every single Friday, so you will see more of this. And also, don't be afraid to share what you want to see too, so that way I can make videos on things that'll be valuable to you guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you were in the real estate world, our authentic and safe space for our real estate community is Real Estate Done Right in the school community, which the link is below. And I'm happy to just be on this journey with all of you guys, and I will see you all next week. Thank you for hearing my story. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you all for tuning in. God bless.